What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Go M.A.D podcast. I am your host, Christopher. Today we got a jam-packed episode, so I'm going to just dive right in. So today I was at my job today, and I was trying to organize my week. And usually I try to go into my planner, and I can admit right now I am not the most like consistent person. And it's always hard. I don't know if I'm the only one. I love to have a planner, and there's times where like I'll go a whole week perfectly fine in my planner and being able to like go the whole week and do everything. And there's just some weeks where I'm not able to go and write everything in the week. So I get backed up sometimes. So today I was like, no, I can't get backed up. I gotta fill up everything. And what I really liked about my specific planner is that it's like it has so many different functions and stuff. I think my favorite part about it is that it has everything separated as well into quarters. So obviously you have the daily things and the weekly and all of that. And after every quarter, meaning after every 3 months, it does like this whole evaluation process. And you basically like evaluate yourself on what you learn, what you want to improve on, and things that you want to work on over the next quarter, over the next 3 months. And it really helps you like map out everything. So I was just writing everything down today, finally catching up, and it felt so good afterwards to do that. And I just thought to myself, I was like, wow, this is something that I think could benefit so many other people. And that's what I want to talk with you guys today. And the whole basis of this, where I got this from, is like I want the goal for us over this next quarter, over this summer season, over this next 3 months, is for us to kind of have a plan of actions where we're going into growing, we're going into setting goals, we're going into having everything laid out where we're taking action. So that way this summer season, while there's other people relaxing and sitting back and doing some stuff, and yeah, like I said, it's good to have fun. There's people out there who will be laid back and chillaxing. And what's important is that we're the ones that while we're relaxing and chillaxing, we still have a schedule to follow. We have something to look forward to as well. And that's what I want us to aim for towards today. And I know a lot of the times it can get overwhelming because we have so many different ideas and so many different like plans that we might have. And I can say this from personal experience because I sometimes in my head I get overwhelmed with so many different things that I'm just thinking and thinking and thinking. I'm like, oh, I want to do this and this, and then I fall down this huge hole of like things that I want to accomplish, and sometimes if you're not like writing things down or anything like that, you can go crazy, or you end up thinking about something that might be a really good idea or something really beneficial, something very impacting. And since you don't follow up on it or jot down or anything like that, then you lose track of all of that. So either way, I think the best way for us to be able to grow in this is to be able to think big and start small. I think that's one of the most important things, is that we can think big and start small. And the reason why that's so important, and you hear this a lot in many different areas about learning to think big and start small. And the reason why it's so important is because it's important for us to have goals, to have a vision, and to think long term. And when it comes to thinking big, it means to in your mind, don't just think of creating something that's just for you, that's something cool. Think of something that is something big enough that will impact everyone around you, that will benefit other people around you, and not just in your lifetime, but the lifetime that will continue after you, or the generation that will continue after you. And think in terms of that. So it's important for us to think big. And in order for us to not get overwhelmed, we need to start small as well. And the way we do that is by making little actionable steps, which is how we're doing it. We're going to do it today as we go throughout today's lesson. And we're going to go step by step so that we can start small to build towards that big goal of what we're thinking big towards. And I was doing this myself today, and there's things that have gone through my mind, but to be able to write them down, like really help put it on paper and look at it. And I was like, wow, man, like I cannot wait to see that in effect. And it just fueled my passion and fire even more to want to just do this, what I'm doing now, and to move forward, knowing of what's to come. It really, really fuels me up. So the first thing that we need to do There's three main things that we're going to talk about today. The first thing is to think big, and I already mentioned of why we need to think big. So in order for us to put this into effect, we need to take out at least I would say 15 to 30 minutes. Take out 15 to 30 minutes. If you're listening to this at a good time, I recommend like stopping this once I'm done saying this to separate the next 15 minutes. Or go into your calendar or like your Siri or your assistant and set the reminder to do it as soon as possible. Set aside 15 minutes where you will just write down whatever is on your mind, whatever is in your heart, based on your dreams and your goals. All your inspiration, all the things that you want to accomplish, all the things that come to your mind. Take those 15 to 30 minutes to just write everything down. Like just track all of that and don't edit yourself. So what that means is don't try to think of anything sophisticated. You're not writing an essay. You're not sending this to anybody. You don't need to have a body. You don't have to have a thief. How do I say that word? I can't say that word. Thesis statement. There we go. You don't need to have that. You don't need to have a bibliography or captions or any citations, anything like that. All you need is just grab a paper or grab your notepad and just start writing. Just start writing. Like I said, separate 30 minutes. Even if it doesn't take that long, have 30 minutes of uninterrupted time where you will just talk about everything that's on your mind, all your goals, all your dreams, and just think big. Like think long term and way big and out there, and plan and just start writing and talking about those things. Obviously what is impacting about this is that we're able to kind of map out. We get to start seeing the picture, and that's what we're doing right now. Right now with this step right here, we're learning to frame the picture early on by thinking big and looking ahead. And as I was doing this, like I told you guys, like this really, all this does is add fuel to you. And I want you to do this so that you can add fuel to your passion and fire, and just think big without limiting yourself and without editing yourself. Just write down and go all out and separate that time so that you can invest in yourself and start to think big and see the big picture that's coming. All right, and we're back. So I hope that in that little break, you were able to take that time to think big. And now that we've got that fuel, now that we got the fire burning, and we're on the track now, we got the picture, we see the picture now. Now what's important is that we take the next step in starting small. So why is this so important to think about starting small? And I mentioned it earlier, and I want to emphasize it because a lot of the times, and I'm guilty of this, I can say I'm the first person who did this for a long time, and I'm talking about like years, where I had just so many ideas, so many things that in my head, like I saw, and I'm thinking like, oh, this would be cool to do. And in my head, I would see so many different ideas, and I had goals, and I was like, oh, what if this happened, or what if this went this way? And I got consumed in my mind. So I was good at having visions and seeing things before their reality, and really truly like seeing big things, and like I was good at that. What I lacked at for a really long time is taking action on that and applying that. And I soon realized that when I just have things in my head, when I just have something in my head, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't benefit or do anything for anybody. And I believe I heard it somewhere. I believe, I'm trying to see if I can remember the words. A vision without taking action is just a hallucination, which is an extreme statement. And if you think about it, it's pretty true. When you have a vision and you're not planning on taking action on it or applying it, that's just a hallucination. It's just something that you see. It's like an imaginary world, pretty much, that you just see there and you don't do anything about. It's just a hallucination. And I don't want you to have a hallucination, because I know if you're listening to this, you believe in yourself, and I believe in you. And I know you have a talent and a passion, and I want you to take that to the next level. So in order to do that, I want to help you see the picture and think big. And in order for you to not lose that, not lose that potential great thing that you have and that you're meant for, we have to start small. So, um, like what I was mentioning in my planner, a good thing is that what it does is that after I wrote everything and stuff and pulled my heart out, my mind was in the right place now. My mind was focused, zoned in, and then I was able to now think about the next step and how to apply that. So the way that I did that and what I recommend for you guys to do, the first thing is to just list 1 to 3 different like the 1 to 3 main goals that you want to accomplish over the next quarter, which is over the next season that we have now, over the next summer season. So that's right now we're in July, or whenever you're listening to this, pretty much over the next, just think about over the next 3 months from the moment you're listening to this right now, 3 months from when you're listening to this, um that you start to work on that specific aspect, on the things you want to accomplish based on what you thought about. And as you're thinking about those things, remember, like, just start small. Like, let's say, just as an example, you want to have a band, or you want to go worldwide and have a band and play music around the world. All right, let's say that's your big goal. Let's say that's what you're seeing in your mind. And in order for you to start small, first of all, you want to make sure that you understand the music. You want to make sure you understand everything there is to know about the music. And once you understand the music, you take action and say, all right, how can I grow and get better in this? And who can I talk to improve in this? And start to meet with people who you see might help you grow and learn in the process, and who also have that musical talent. And then little by little, as you continue to take those little actions, you start to grow together. And then that big goal starts to form, and you're aiming towards that big goal. So as you're thinking about these 3 main goals, like I said, keep it simple and straight to the point, and be as specific as possible. And a good way for you to know what kind of goals to list down is to ask yourself why it's important. So after you thought about everything and you wrote everything down and you were able to get your mind in the right place, um think about, why is it important? Why is that important to you? Why is it important that you accomplish this? And I want you to actually answer this and actually write this answer down, because what this does is that later on, as you continue on this journey, you have a track record where you can go back to and you can see yourself writing down what your mindset was, where your heart was, and you get to see what your purpose was, what you're trying to accomplish, and you get to always go back to that, on what you're seeking to accomplish and what your end goal is. So I want you to actually answer that question and ask yourself, why is this so important to you? And frame your goals around that answer. So list 1 to 3 goals going based off of that, based on what you want to, based on this big goal that you want to accomplish. The way that I did it for me, I always do 3 goals. Since every quarter is like 3 months, I usually just do 3 goals. So that is pretty much 1 goal every month for that quarter, for that season, pretty much. So I will do 1 main goal for every single month. Just as an example, like for me, if I want to improve with my podcast, then I have a main goal where it's like, okay, I'm going to invest 30 minutes every day learning something new about improving the podcast, about learning about the audio, how to edit the video, so on and so forth. That's 1 main goal. Another main goal could be meet someone new, or have a meeting with someone new who might impact you. These are just examples that I'm giving you guys, just to give you a rough idea on what you need to do. This is your personal journey. This is you, and I'm here, and I'm happy, and I really hope that I can be a part of this journey for you. And I want you to be able to write those 3 goals down, whichever works better for you. If you want to do all 3, if you want to do 2, if you want to start off with 1 big goal for the 3 months that you want to work towards little by little, whichever way works for you. Like I said, for me, I do it more like 1 every single month for those 3 months. But whichever way works for you the best, and just have those 3 main goals that you work towards. And once you write down that and you list down why it's important, then the next thing to do is for you to write 1 to 3 things, 1 to 3 actionable steps that you're willing to take in order to apply those 3 main goals. So if you said, All right, let's say you wanted to lose weight. You want to lose 30 pounds in the next 3 months. Then an actionable step, or one actionable step, is I'm going to drink a gallon of water every day, and I'm going to walk 20 minutes every single day. So those are actionable steps. Those are things that you are going to do. Those are the actions that you're going to take in order to work towards your goal. Um, so list 1 to 3 actionable steps. Obviously, this depends on your goals. Again, you can frame this the way that I do it. Like I said, if I have 3 goals for those for the 3 months, then I'm going to have 3 actionable steps. 1 step for each individual goal, which you can do more if you want. You can do, if you want to be more specific and hold yourself more accountable, you're obviously way more than welcome to just write more actionable steps to help keep you accountable to accomplish those goals, whichever way it works out for you. If you want to keep it simple, then like I said, just 1 to 3 actionable steps that you're willing to take and you're going to take starting today, as soon as you get the next chance available, in order for you to accomplish these specific goals. So this is the way that you can start small. So first we started off with thinking big, and then now we're talking about learning how to start small, and now seeing the picture and now bringing it into a reality. And this is what starts the exciting journey and the challenge of doing things that we might not have done before and that we're going to start doing in order to move ourselves and like improve in what this picture is and bring it in a reality. And trust me, guys, I've been doing this already for the first 2 quarters of the year, and I can tell you honestly, like, it fires me up every time, and it helps keep me going and keep moving forward. So I highly recommend that you do this and take out this time. This is time for you. Like, you can spend hours scrolling through social media, watching movies and doing stuff. Like, this is 30 minutes that could potentially change the course of your life and change your journey forever. So invest this time to learn to just start small and take action and see where this is going to take you. So just to go over everything again, we have thinking big, and then the second thing we need to do is start small. And the last step that I really recommend, and this is kind of what will help you in the long run, kind of evaluate yourself. That's literally what the next thing is. But this is kind of what will help you track yourself and kind of improve yourself along the way. This is something that is so important to me, at least, and I know will be important to you, because if you don't do something like this, what I'm about to talk about, it will really hinder you, and it will really like bring a big obstacle to you, because you could move on and make progress and then never know if you're doing good or if you can improve or get better or anything like that. So this next thing that I want to do after talking about the last 2 things is learning to evaluate. So the reason why this is so important is because I like something that I heard when I'm listening to John Maxwell. Something that I hear a lot that he says is that a lot of people say that experience is the best teacher, and he likes to say that quote itself is wrong, and I agree with it. And I'm here to tell you, if you when you hear that quote that it says experience is the best teacher, that quote is wrong. Experience isn't the best teacher. Evaluated experience is the best teacher. So what's the difference? You could go through your whole life having gotten through so many different things and not have learned a single thing from it. You can go through so many things and then just keep going on an endless cycle and not have learned or gotten better in anything. But when you go through something and you look at that situation and you see what you went through and you see, wow, like, now I'm here and now I'm moving better. Now I'm progressing. Now I'm asking myself, what can I do next to improve this? And you continue to do that cycle, then you're evaluating the things that you have accomplished, the things that you have gone through, the actions that you have taken, and you're asking yourself how to get even better. And through that evaluated experience, that is how you're learning. That is how you go through the best kind of growth that you can experience. So evaluated experience is the best teacher. And in this whole like talking about my planner, I telling you guys, like, the planner that I have is so amazing. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave a link to the specific planner that I have so that you guys can see it. I am a man of faith, so this specific um, planner is revolved around that. Even without that, I strongly believe that this will still be a huge benefit to you. It is such a good planner and really helps you like frame yourself around everything and keep yourself really really organized down to the T. So um in this section, when the quarter ends, and you're writing down these steps and you're already gotten everything down, what I really like is what I mentioned at the very beginning, um is that once the quarter ends, you get a whole 2 pages where you list down, what did you learn, and this different set of questions. And like I said, the intention of this and the goal of this is to be able to help you kind of see where you were, see how did you get to where you are now, and what you can do to get to where you need to go. And it's kind of like tracking that along the way, and you get to improve along the way. So I want to be able to provide this insight to you guys, so that as you're accomplishing these goals and taking these action steps that you have before you, that you're able to take action on these things and actually apply them. And then after you apply them, after you experience them, even if you fail, even as if you succeed, just go through with it. And once these 3 months are done, then you get to ask yourself some questions. So I want the very first thing before I go into those questions, is for you to ask yourself, or I want you guys, the very first thing I want you guys to do is to grab your phone and set a reminder at the end of 3 months. So whenever you're listening to this, whether it's in the summer or whenever you're listening to this, set a reminder right now, whatever is the best way that you know how, whether it's through the assistant on your phone, or if you know somebody that you want to reach out to, whichever way, set a reminder on your phone 3 months from now, to be able to track and ask yourself the following questions. So I want you to do that right now. Like, I will stop talking so you can take some time, just pause this and do that really quick before you continue listening, so that you can have that ready so that you can evaluate yourself for what's to come. And once you've done that, I want you to ask yourself these 4 questions. So the first question is, how did you grow? So how did you grow? Second question is, what are some things you need to work on and improve? The third question is, what stretched you? And the fourth question is, who stretched you? So the first question, how did you grow? So I want you to just write down, when you come to this point and you're answering this question, how did you grow? What are some things that you learned when you took these actions? What are some things that you liked, that you enjoyed, and you saw that you learned something new? What are some things that you grew from and that you actually enjoyed learning? And then the second thing, what are some things that you need to work on and improve? So we're not all perfect. So sometimes maybe the action that you took over these 3 months, maybe you failed some or weren't able to accomplish some. So you have to ask yourself, okay, what are some things that you need to improve on? Whether it is a process that you're doing, or maybe you're investing too much time in a certain area, or maybe you saw that you wanted something and it didn't really go the way that you thought it would. So you were thinking maybe you need to improve by studying something else or looking up something else or researching. So that's why that question helps you out. Kind of think about, okay, this is what worked, this is what didn't work, and this is what I need to improve on. So write down one or two things that you want to work on and that you want to improve on. And then the third question, what stretched you? So this question, it kind of ties in with the second question as well, is what stretched you. What that means is pretty much like over these 3 months, what is something that kind of stretched you out, where you kind of probably experienced some overwhelming moments, or you felt like you were overwhelmed and you feel like you were doing way too much. And in this case, with that question, you need to follow up and tell yourself, okay, what are some things that you need to take out of your life to help you focus more on these goals? And what are some things that are in your control, that you can control? And I know, like for me, for example, I did that over the last few quarters, and I answered that question, and I wrote down, what stretched me, and I saw some things that were in my control that I knew I had to just get rid of and take out, and there were some things that were not in my control, and that I knew that the perfect solution is to learn to delegate that specific thing to someone else, whether you're in a group or in a team setting or whatever you are. That you see those responsibilities and that you learn to delegate that to other people on your team so that you can help them grow, help them learn something new. You don't have to do everything yourself. Learn to have most of your time focused on your passion and what you want to do, right? And then the last question, who stretched you? So this is the opposite effect. Who is someone who was there for you for these 3 months, or who is someone who has been there for you the last 3 months, and who's someone who has been investing in you, adding value to you, and helping you grow? Whatever the answer to that question is, whoever that person is, keep spending time with them. Keep investing time with that person, because that's the person who you need to continue to surround yourself for, to keep holding yourself accountable. And that's what I want to finish with, is to find one or two people that will hold you accountable over these next 3 months, and reach out to them and say, hey, I need you to hold me accountable. I want to accomplish this specific thing, and I need someone to help me stay on that track. So can you help me out? And have that person, they themselves, set a reminder every week to ask you how's it going with the specific goals that you have set out, so that they can hold you accountable and they can reach out to you, and you have someone that is like building you up, pushing you forward, and making sure that you stay on that track. So if any of this information has impacted you guys today, I know it was a lot of information, so feel free to rewind, listen to everything again. This is things that have helped me out so much, and I know can help you out. So if this is something that has impacted you, feel free, support the podcast in any way that you possibly can. Spread this to others so that we can all grow together. And this is information that I know my goal is to create a community that we can all invest in ourselves and really take our talents and our passions to the next level. And I want you guys to go far, thinking big and starting small, so that we can all be a part of this journey and be a part of each other's success story. And as we all invest in ourselves, we see a change that honestly we'll cherish forever. So you guys can follow me on all social media platforms. You can find me on Instagram at Chris Go M.A.D, or our podcast page at Go M.A.D Official. You can also follow me on Twitter at Crisito is Mad. Also, you can have a YouTube channel where this video will be posted, at Go M.A.D Official as well. And if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me. And as we invest in ourselves and help each other grow, we can all go M.A.D. I'll catch you guys in the next one.